Hello.
Today we're going to be working with the infant, and we're going to look specifically at CPR. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So this is if all layers of protection have failed and toddlers made their way into the water unsupervised and they've drowned. Your first priority will be to get that infant out of the water and onto a sturdy surface, preferably something like a table that won't collapse or give when you're giving compressions. The other very important thing is to alert the EMS. If there's a bystander, you can instruct them to contact the EMS, and the number that you would contact will vary depending on where you're based. If there's no bystanders, what you could do is take your own phone, dial emergency services and put it onto speaker so that you can communicate with them while you're taking care of the infant. If you don't have a speaker function, you'd want to do CPR for a minute and then make your way to a point where you can contact the EMS. So it just depends on the situation. Okay, so once you've got the infant on a sturdy surface like a table, you first want to address the airway. So the mechanism of injury here is that water has entered the lungs and therefore we're not able to circulate the oxygen through the body. So we're going to try and get rid of the water first. So I will do a very simple head tilt chin lift method, which is going to open up the airway. You'll look inside the airway. You'll also look down towards the chest to hear if there's any breathing or to see if there's any movement. If there are any obvious obstructions in the airway, you can also pick that out before you start with the ventilations. So going into the ventilations, something to bear in mind is that a toddler or an infant's lungs are much smaller than ours. So you don't want to take a full breath of air and blow it in there. You want to do something called a cheek puff. So a cheek puff is if I fill my cheeks up with air like this, and I blow it out, that's the volume of air that you want to expel. Right. So you're going to put your mouth over their nose and their mouth. You want to make sure that both of those are covered. If you just put it over the mouth, the air is going to escape out of the nose. Yeah. And you're going to do an exhalation for about a second. And you're also going to watch the chest to make sure that it rises. And then when you take your mouth away, you'll see that it falls. And you're going to do 5 initial puffs. Good. So those are the 5 initial puffs. Then we're going to go on to the compressions. So the compression site is in the center of the chest. If you look at the nipple line, it's 1 finger down from the nipple line in the center of the chest. The compressions are hard and fast, and they are going to simulate anything between 100 and 120 beats per minute. And you want to push the chest in about 1/3 of the volume of the chest. So it's about 4 centimeters. Okay, and then we're going to do 30 compressions. 10, 20, 30, and then we're going to go back to ventilations, and we're going to do 2 ventilations. And then back to 30 compressions, so back to the center of the chest. 10, 20, 30, 2. And you'll continue doing the CPR until either help arrives or the infant starts showing signs of life. If they start showing signs of life, what you could potentially do is just hold them into a type of a recovery position where their head is slightly lower than the rest of their body. And this will allow for them to keep an open airway. And also, if there's any fluids that are going to come out from doing the ventilations, this will free the airway as well to allow that to happen. And in this position, you can make your way to the point where you'll be meeting the EMS if they haven't arrived as yet.